Yep, seems to be working.
Thank you very much. I'm Ann Richards, former governor of Texas. Gosh, it is so good to see you. It's good to be seen. Now, before I go any further, I should probably mention, since y'all could be from all over the country, that you might think I was the first female governor of Texas. So I want to rush to disabuse you of that notion. Texas elected its first female governor way back in the 1920s, and her name was Ma Ferguson. Well, Ma was called Ma because she was married to a man named Pa, and Pa was the governor of Texas. Well, he was impeached for selling pardons to the people in the penitentiaries, so when they carted Pa off to the pen himself, Ma was elected instead. Her campaign slogan was, 2 governors for the price of 1.
Said Rosie O'Donnell, a haiku. That fat, ugly face. She talks like a truck driver. She's got no talent. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Grossley, Ranking Member Feinstein, members of the committee. My name is Christine Blasey Ford. I'm a professor of psychology at Palo Alto University and a professor of research, and a research psychologist at the Stanford University School of Medicine. I've been married to Russell Ford since 2002, and we have 2 children. I am not here today because I want to be. I am terrified. I'm here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school. Man bites dog is the classic definition of news. By that standard, male senator says something offensively sexist to female colleague ought to be no news at all. If you're surprised or skeptical about the remarks recounted by New York Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand, well, there's just one explanation. You must be a man. With each new generation of politicians, more and more women refuse to stay silent. And that newfound visibility no longer means vulnerability. Rather, that visibility is the source of their greatest strength. All we have to do is listen. The Drama of Anne by Holland Taylor, the article Sexism in the Senate by Ruth Marcus, the beautiful poetry of Donald Trump by Rob Sears, the testimony of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, and the poem Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. After all, some birds will never be caged. So let us come together, right now, and sing of freedom. A free bird leaps on the backs of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. I understand and appreciate the importance of your hearing from me directly about what happened, and the impact that it has had on my life and on my family. During my time at Holton Arms, girls frequently met and became friendly with boys from all-boys schools in the area. This is how I met Brett Kavanaugh, the boy who sexually assaulted me. I wonder if y'all can feel what an amazing time this is for women. Now, when I was young, back in the Bronze Age, little girls didn't even dream of careers. Even nursing and teaching, so desperately important, were thought of as careers back then. Well, basically, they were just extensions of what was expected of women anyway. Outside the home, women were largely overlooked and unused, which is more the point.
Women have one of the greatest acts of all time, a poem. The smart ones act very feminine and needy, but inside, they are the real killers. I wouldn't mind if there were an anti-Viagra. That's the kind of thinking our country needs right now.
At one point, Gillibrand writes of being in the house gym, where an older male colleague told her, good thing you're working out. Wouldn't want to get too porky. Another time, after she lost 50 pounds, she recounts one of her fellow Senate members approached her, squeezed her stomach, and said, don't lose too much weight now. I like my girls chubby. And Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid once called Gillibrand the hottest member of the Senate at a fundraiser. Harry was just trying to be nice, Gillibrand said. Being nice.
Crazy Megan Kelly, a haiku, lightweight reporter, blood coming out of her, wherever. Get a life, Megan.
But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown. Early in the evening, I went up a very narrow set of stairs leading from the living room to a second floor to use the restroom. When I got to the top of the stairs, I was pushed from behind into a bedroom across from the bathroom. I couldn't see who pushed me. Brett and Mark came into the room and locked the door behind them. I was pushed onto a bed, and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands up and down my body and grinding into me. Brett groped me and tried to take off my clothes. I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what has terrified me the most, and has had the most lasting impact on my life. It was hard for me to breathe. And I believed that Brett was accidentally going to kill me. Now, it was the greatest opportunity of my life to serve Texas as its governor, and the greatest honor. But more important than vetoes in the bully pulpit was our promise that we would create a government that, for once, looked like the population of the state. About 3,000 appointments to office, many of them female, Hispanic, Black, gay, Asian, disabled, Republican. We didn't care about the flag. And I'm going to tell you what. That day, an awful lot of people were extra proud of their state. One unproductive response to Gillibrand has been to demand that she name names. Oh, right. That would be helpful that Gillibrand, the 19 other women in the Senate, and women everywhere. Gillibrand's responsibility is to her constituents and to the public, and she has been impressively relentless in pursuing the issue of sexual assault, first in the military and now on college campuses, lobbying her colleagues to back her for support. How do you think this would go if she exposed them to public ridicule? Apart from the assault itself, these past couple of weeks have been the hardest of my life. I've had to relive my trauma in front of the world. And I've seen my life picked apart by people on Twitter, on television, social media, other media, and in this body, who have never met me or spoken to me. I've been accused of acting out of partisan political motives. Those who say that do not know me. I'm an independent person, and I am no one's pawn. The free bird thinks of another breeze, the trade wind soft through the sliding trees, and the fat worm waiting on a dawn's great lawn. And he names the sky his own. I still love politics, and I just don't understand people who turn their back on it all, because the government is the most pervasive institution in our lives. And if you aren't really interested, and if you don't care, well, you're just letting some other people make some big old decisions for you. I'm not going to tell you that when you vote, the clouds are going to part and the angels are going to sing and good government will be restored across the land. It's not that good things always happen when good people vote. But it is darn sure true that bad things happen when they don't vote. And I just wish that some of you women, who you shrink from politics because you view it as being so dirty and nasty, I wish you'd think it over. And anyway, why should your life be just about you? My motivation in coming forward is to be helpful, and to provide facts about how Mr. Kavanaugh's actions have damaged my life, so that you could take them into serious consideration as you make your decision about how to proceed. It is not my responsibility to determine whether or not Mr. Kavanaugh deserves to sit on the Supreme Court. My responsibility is to tell you the truth. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard.